Hi, I'm Jack HIckey from the Growth Center. We're spending this series looking at goal setting, the ability to plan out the year ahead. We don't want to end up the same place we ended up last year. Not that was a bad place. You might have ended the year on a real high note. But you always want to move further. You want to know where you're going. Now, your assignment last time was to find the one thing that you wanted for next year. Where did you want to be at the end of the year? And to be very specific as you wrote that down. And I hope you did that. If you didn't, I encourage you to do so before you continue on with these exercises, because it's very important. That's going to be your anchor. That's going to be the destination that you're going to. But what I want to spend a couple minutes talking to you about right now is about goals themselves. Now, goals are not wishes, they are not dreams, in the sense that they're all inside of your head. I often interchange the concept of dreams and purpose. I believe we all were created with a purpose, that there is a destiny inside of all of us that we were created to fulfill, and we will never be complete as a human being until we fulfill that. The great news is that to fulfill that is the thing we want to do the most. People often come to me and say, how do I know what my purpose is? And my first response is, well, what do you want to do? We think that for some reason our destiny, our purpose is something that we don't want to do. And that's not true. It's what we were created for. It is the thing that will complete us. It's the thing that excites us the most, that builds the most energy. And that's where you have to focus at going. Those are the goals. And it is important, and you're going to hear me repeat this over and over again, it is so important that you write these down, because when a goal is written down, it becomes tangible. You know, Brian Tracy always says that a written goal is a dream with a deadline. It's not something that is way out there. Goals are meant to be completed. That's a neat thing about setting a goal. You don't set a goal with the intention that someday, you set it with a deadline. You have to know when it is that you intend to achieve this, and that's what you work towards. And we're going to talk more later on about how to measure those things and how to look at that and put those deadlines in and make them effective. But a goal is also something that has to give you power. It's something that excites you. Like I said, when we find our destiny, when we find our purpose, it is something that we want to do, and it makes us excited, it gives us energy, it moves us forward. That is very important in a goal. You're not going to strive and work hard and put forth the effort for something that you really don't care about. It has to be something that is important to you. So if the goal that you are looking at is something that really doesn't matter, then it's the wrong goal, because it has to be something that you wake up in the morning thinking about, you go to bed thinking about, and often you want to find what that purpose is. What is that thing that you think about all the time? When you have time that you're sitting back and you can relax and you kind of daydream a bit, what is the thing that you think about? What do you keep going back to? Many people will find that their purposes has always been there. They've thought about it for years and years and years, but they've never taken it seriously. The time has come to take it seriously. Another important part of a goal, and this might sound a little strange, but it's very key, a goal has to be impossible. And the reason it has to be impossible is that it has to be bigger than what you are. If you can easily achieve your goal, it is far too small. Don't be afraid of the impossible. We were created by a God who does the impossible, who is able to take us from one place to another that we think is absolutely beyond anything that we could ever do. But remember this, when we were created with a purpose. It was God's intent from the beginning that we achieve that purpose. It was never His intent to give us things that we can't do. So, if it is His intent, if we're looking at the creator of the universe here, if it was His intent to give us something that we had to complete, then who are we to argue? We have to move forward with that. Remember, as Wilfred Patterson said, big thinking precedes great achievement. That you have to think big. So don't be afraid of the impossible, because that is the very thing you want in your goal. Goals also have to be very focused, in that it is not 50 things, it is one thing. D.L. Moody said, "Give me a man who says, 'This one thing I do,' not the man who says, 'These 50 things I dabble in.'" Because when you dabble, the old jack of all trade, master of none, that's very true, is that we have to be able to focus all of our energy on fulfilling the tasks that we have to complete. And so a goal has to be very clear. That's why writing it down is so vital, because that helps bring clarity into the process. Now, what I want you to do for the next time we get together is I want you to look at that one goal, that achievement you want to make by the end of the year. Again, if you haven't done that yet, that's step number 1. Step number 2 is to look at that, and I want you to ask yourself the question, what do I have to have in order to make this happen? Is it going to mean more education? Are you going to have to earn more money? Are you going to have to live in a different location? Are you going to have to learn something, a skill that you didn't have before? What are the things that you actually have to have in order to see this achieved? And don't be afraid of those things. If people think, well, in order to do this, I have to go back to school for 5 years, and I don't want to spend 5 years in school. Well, I'll tell you, the one denominator in life that is unchangeable is time. 5 years will pass in 5 years. It doesn't matter what you do or how you do it. 5 years will pass in 5 years. No one is given any more time than anyone else. No one's given any less time than anyone else. We all have 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year. That's all that you get. It's an unchangeable thing. So why not use the time that you have in order to achieve the things that you want? So don't let those things deter you. Be honest with yourself. Put down there exactly what it is that you want, what it is that you need. Then we're going to take that and break those down into very achievable goals. I hope that you go after this with everything that's in you, because I believe that you can do it.